specifically involving former Governor Yahaya Bello.
He said the Efcc is persecuting former Governor Yahaya Bello rather than prosecution. When started the invitation and all that.
Yeah.
Yahaya Bello running away from Efcc, is he not indicting himself? Is he not probably making that perception that before he will be arraigned?
Now, you see, this narrative of Yahaya Bello running is facts wrong. You see, like I said before, we don't deal with speculative issues in law. If I don't, for instance, nobody has been able to tender any evidence that His Excellency Yahaya Bello was in that house at that material time on that day. Now, someone might be spreading a video of, circulating a video of a vehicle entering the said premises, and that vehicle is the vehicle of the present governor of Kogi State, Governor Usman Ododo. I did not see Governor Usman Ododo. I have not even seen one person who said he saw Usman Ododo there. I have not seen one person who can prove as a material fact that as a matter of material fact that Yahaya Bello was even in the premises. Now, if you show me a vehicle, that's your business. That's not how we operate in law. A vehicle is not a governor. A governor is a human being in flesh and blood. Until you can prove to me that Usman Ododo was even there. It's not a question of people are in Benghazi Crescent, then there's a convoy coming in, and people start saying, Ododo has come, Ododo has come. That is not the business of a lawyer. Show me Ododo. If you can show me Ododo there, and I can see Ododo, then you will now show me evidence of Ododo maybe carrying Yahaya Bello on his back, smuggling him into the boot of his limousine. Otherwise, you are wasting your time. All that is within the realm of speculation. In court, we will flush it down the toilet. It is all rumor. Do you understand me? Now, assuming without conceding that Governor Ododo actually even went there, and so what? Does Governor Ododo not have freedom of movement? He cannot move again. That is a crime to go to somebody's house. Good God! If I kept it, there is such a charge. There is a charge that we are going to lay against. Imagine if supposing Governor Ododo does not have immunity. Is there a way of filing a charge against him for going to somebody's house, anybody's house? Good God! It is the only person that can even raise an issue. It would be former Governor Yahaya Bello. Is it your house he came to? He went to somebody's house. So that goes to no issue. Seriously, simple. Good. Now, if you don't have a skeleton in your cupboard, you might as well say, why should I not be entitled to enter your house without your permission? We have privacy, we have rights, for God's sake. We have fundamental human rights, we have citizens' rights. Okay? Now, it is not, somebody was interviewing me yesterday. I was saying that the Efcc is notorious for bulldozing people's houses, breaking through the roof, and that they have been lenient with former Governor Yahaya Bello. And I'm like, lenient with who? We have rights in this country. If I don't want you to enter my house, does that mean I have a skeleton in my cupboard? It's my house, for God's sake. I have rights. Now, if I have at any point in time, if I'm convinced that you are about to violate my rights, that I simply don't trust you, who is the arbiter in a civilized society? It is the court of law. That is the right of any citizen to go to court. Now, in this bizarre situation, you have someone, a former governor, and in one fell swoop, you say he stole 80 billion in how many weeks or months of being a governor of a state like Kogi, not Delta, not Rivers, not Lagos. I don't know how much money is in Kogi that someone will be able to spirit away 80 billion in how many days of being a governor. Then you now at the same time you withdraw his security detail for a former governor, exposing him to danger. If anything happens to Yahaya Bello today, at least all Nigerians should know who to hold. It will be the Inspector General of Police. How do you? It is the obligation. We are entitled to police protection, even if the person is a vulcanizer. If the police is sure that somebody wants to cut his throat, it is the obligation of the police to go and protect that person, not to talk of someone as obviously potentially in danger as a governor or a former governor. How dare you withdraw his security details? Everything about this case just shows that this is totally orchestrated. Some people have clearly have a problem with former Governor Yahaya Bello, and they are using the instrumentality of the state to prosecute that personal agenda. That's what is happening now. It is. I don't have any obligation to contribute to cooperate with you if you are meaning to do me harm. Am I supposed to cooperate with you? The question you should ask is not. You say you're asking a negative question. That is, if your hands are clean, why should you go to court? Jesus Christ, that is why the courts exist. The courts exist for us to go to the court. It's our right to go to court.
To go and do what exactly?
That it is just a right to protect your rights.
But if you don't have a cupboard, if you don't have any skeleton in your cupboard, why are you going to the court?
Good God.
Yes.
If you don't have a skeleton, I answered this question before. If you don't have a skeleton in your cupboard, in your house, am I entitled to bulldoze my way into your house? Answer that question for me.
Sir, my question is similar to the one. Do you want EFCC to?
I want EFCC to follow the law. There is a law. All of us are. Nobody is above the law. Even a governor or a president with immunity. Do you know what immunity exists for? Is to aid you to apply the law, to execute the law, to enforce the law. It doesn't mean you are above the law. No one, not even the Chief Justice of Nigeria, is above the law. It's for everybody to obey the law. There is a court order. Even if the order had come from a customary court, I don't know what state you come from. Even if the customary court is in your village, it is a court. What you do, however absurd you might consider the ruling, you go to court. That's just, otherwise you have bedlam in the society, you have anarchy. Yahaya Bello was placing reliance on a valid court order that says you cannot arrest him. That order, as far as I'm aware, has not been vacated. Someone was telling me that there has been a variation, and the court even still instructed, mandated the EFCC to seek leave of the Court of Appeal before they can touch Yahaya Bello. As at this point in time, that's the so-called declaration of Yahaya Bello wanted is patently illegal. It's rascally, and he ought not to cooperate with it. You are declaring me wanted against the order of a court. Are you a court of law? Is the EFCC a court of law? These people will just try to intimidate all of us. See how they were even dressed when they went to Yahaya's house, wearing bandana with a skull and crossbones. Is it a secret society? We have rights in this country. It's a nation of laws. Please, people have rights.
Or carrying out their constitutional duty of going to Mr. Yahaya Bello's house, picking him up for interrogation and all of that. So it now creates some kind of some people are marveled why it appears as if there's this disparity of people working at cross purposes within Nigeria's law enforcement agency, and now saying police behaved in an unprofessional manner. That is what informed the IG's decision to recall these aides or security aides attached to Yahaya Bello, detain them and all of that. As a lawyer, what would you say about the action of the police on that day?
Well, one, I'm not sensed with any. I don't just deal with speculation. I did not see anybody try to obstruct the EFCC from arresting Yahaya Bello. I simply don't have that evidence. Let's let that be our starting point. Now, if peradventure, if anyone had tried to stop the EFCC from making what was an illegal arrest, well, I would say it goes to no issue. If you can't arrest me, why should I cooperate with you? That is assuming even such a thing happened. You know, because all these things is just speculation. It's narratives, it's spinning of narratives. I don't even know whether Yahaya Bello was in the house. I don't know whether Usman Ododo went there. Somebody said Usman Ododo smuggled him from there. Let them show us evidence of Usman Ododo smuggling Yahaya Bello from there. Somebody said, does a policeman not know how to make an arrest? Who obstructed who? As far as I'm concerned, the EFCC went there on a show of shame. Seriously, just constituting a nuisance to the residents of the street. What is it not the same EFCC? Is it? Are you not familiar with the case of Mohammed Adoke? He has been discharged and acquitted with all the noise after tarnishing his reputation. He stole this, he stole that, he stole this. The only people EFCC seems capable of jailing are cross-dressers and arraigning bartenders. Man, let them stop all this noise making, this gaslighting. You have a case, follow due process, prosecute. Are we condoning corruption before? Anybody who stole any money belonging to the credit of the good people of Kogi State must be made to cough out the money. But you will do it according to law. According to law, everybody in this country must obey law, and nobody should think that they can intimidate anyone in this country. That you are EFCC. You are a creation of the law, and you will obey the law.
Some former governors having issue with the EFCC.
Yeah.
Even in the case of what is his name, the former governor.
The police would be used to, should I say, obstruct. What's that word?
It. And I have a very brief prepared address, but before that, and then of course I will be taking I'll be taking some questions after after my address. But even before making my address, let me just state a few things put a few things in perspective. One, there have been certain narratives that we feel ought to be corrected. Okay. Now, the EFCC is persecuting rather than seeking to prosecute His Excellency Yahaya Bello, the immediate past governor of Kogi State. Yahaya Bello has been treading in the news in a manner that calls for great concern, with a plethora of ramifications cutting across serious issues such as fundamental human rights, the rule of law, and then other matters of political significance. Now, as far as we are aware, former Governor Bello had obtained a court order restraining the EFCC from arresting, arraigning, or prosecuting him. And we state categorically that he was perfectly entitled in law to place reliance on the protection of the law. Indeed, the same law which binds absolutely all of us in a civilized society. The motto of the EFCC is that no one is above the law. Well, that starts with the EFCC itself, which is certainly not and cannot possibly be above the law. The remedy against an order of court is to vacate the order or to appeal the same, and most certainly not for law enforcement to thump its nose at the court and decompose into lawlessness and brigandage. Unfortunately, as usual, the Efcc has descended into grotesque unprofessionalism and playing to the gallery by taking what is beginning to appear as a persecution rather than a prosecution to the court of public opinion instead of lawfully canvassing it before the court of law. In the process, even the security details of former Governor Bello have been most rascally and illegally withdrawn, thus exposing him. This is a politically exposed person already, exposing him to grave danger. Amidst all of this is the fact that learned counsel to former Governor Bello's well-known political adversaries are at the same time persecuting him on behalf of the EFCC. And this is quite apart from the fact that one of the said learned counsels most irresponsibly threatened to send the armed forces against former Governor Bello. We unequivocally condemn this witch hunt against a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and a former governor of one of the states of this country. No one is condoning corruption. If you have a case of corruption against anybody, by all means, prosecute them. But the prosecution will be done according to law. We enjoin all well-meaning citizens of this great country to repudiate these excesses. Indeed, we call on all sitting governors and former governors to stand against this utter travesty. Today it may be the turn of Yahaya Bello. Well, tomorrow it might be the turn of any one of us. We thank you all for listening.